Talking about is just being with my grandma.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just love her. Like
yeah.
I celebrated her birthday the other day. She turned 79 years old.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Then today I was walking to get a coffee and I said, you know what? I have a few minutes to spare. I'm going to stop by my grandma's house because she literally lives 2 blocks away from me.
That's so sweet.
And I've been very intentional about being with my grandma more.
Yeah.
Just because she has so many stories. We have so much fun every time we're together.
Really? What do you guys do?
Every single time that I go to visit my grandma, I knock on her door, like very interestingly. Like it'll always just be like, it won't be just a normal like ever. It'll be like
it's something.
And then she'll come to the door. She's like, I knew it was you.
Because of course, duh. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Yeah, no. So what I know that you kind of started like with that. You were saying before we were on the camera. Like,
yeah. So, like it's been interesting to see family dynamics play out over years. And it was interesting because what we were starting to talk about with Joe was like how your childhood influences kind of like the path that you take. Mm-hmm. And like I think about the dynamic in my household, at least in my grandparents' house. And, I came from a broken home. My cousin came from a broken home. And growing up, she was very much so like the kid, like not the grandkid of the family. And watching us become adults and watching my parents, my uncle, the way they interact with my grandparents, what choices they do make, what choices they don't make, the rationale behind it, the assumptions of like incapacity, like a lot of it, the actual incapacities, like it's interesting. I don't know. It's been a weird space of time where it's just like, why are grandparents so interesting, necessary? They hold the oldest
stories,
historical, right, like artifacts.
They also have necessarily the most truth too, because it hasn't gone through a game of telephone. Like it hasn't gotten down to
if they want to share. Yeah, absolutely.
And like there are probably so many even like hidden stories that
I was gonna ask know. Like, have you heard any stories that
100% that I'm like okay, like this all makes sense now. Yeah. Like everything now makes sense. So like when you do uncover certain things, it's like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, even if it's maybe not what you wanted to hear.
News. Yeah.
But it still makes you understand what your dynamic is of your whole entire family. Of the whole family. Yeah. Like and good then it's and like, bad.
Exactly. And then it like helps you kind of point a mirror at yourself and be like, where do I fall within this? Mm-hmm. We could even start getting into like generational trauma, like because that's literally exactly where it stems from. Mm-hmm. I think about, for example, I'm a first generation Latina, but gratefully enough, I didn't realize the privilege in this. Both my parents went to college. I didn't realize how much of like a privilege that was, what a benefit that was to my family and to the generation. But there's also a reality. And the reality is that my mom followed a man to a new country and hoped for the best. Imagine if I were to go to freaking Tokyo in pursuit of the love of my life and go be like, all right, well, here's where my man is. So here's where I'm at. And we're about to have a family and screw everything. Here we go. So it's like, it's very interesting to think about how different family dynamics, how different cultural backgrounds create literally work together to create your very, very, very specific set of circumstances.
Existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. The butterfly effect is absolutely insane. Like, I could do a 30 billion hour podcast on the butterfly effect because I love it. Yeah. Like, it tricks me out and it makes me excited because it's just like, just us talking about this right now. Yeah. Who knows what could happen? Like, whatever it is, like something's changing right now as we're talking about it. We're like, you know, and then it goes out. It might go out to like 10,000 people. Let's just say this gets 10,000 views, and it's like that might trigger something in itself. Or like the person who hears the message is all of a sudden like, yo, this is a foreign idea that you have just brought into my life. Like, you're welcome. Yeah. You know, I love like, it. Yeah. I really do. Like, I love the butterfly effect for good and for bad. Like, there's going to be both, but it's just like how you perceive it, how you take your existence and what is the perception of it from you. You know, like, that's really all that matters.
You know, like the from you part that from what you said, like, because people are going to have their own perceived ideas of you, especially as you form more intimate relationships. Last time we were on, we were talking about intimate relationships, but you know, as you know, like as you have longer friendships, as your friendships become decades old and you know, oh yeah, you've been my best friend for 15 years, 20 years, like those relationship dynamics begin to change. And you know, they become more familial, and then it's like, how am I dealing with you from my understanding of family? Because now it's not a surface superficial, yeah, you know, let's go grab something to eat.
Let's go get some drinks.
How's that breakup, man? I'm sorry to hear, bro. You got it. It's deeper than that now. Now it's, hey, those little nuances that you showed me were really ugly. What the fuck was that all about? Versus never mind. Yeah. Nothing happened.
Very honest, very like ruthless conversation that hopefully makes you better in the outcome. Sometimes it might like bring you down. It might demean you. It might whatever. And who knows what happens from there. Like, you hear all the time different friendships, relationships that they go sour for years. Yeah. But then for it to just one day like blossom into this beautiful thing because you just needed that downtime from each other, or you needed that reality check, you needed that slap in the face in order to even have that friendship blossom, maybe even 20 years down the road. Who knows? I might have lost a friend. I don't know. Let's just say I lost like a group of friends 5 years ago. Like, who knows what's going to happen in 20 years? They might come to save
my housewarming.
They might save my, like, they might save me in 20 years. That I might need it, or I might save them in 20 years, and then bam, we're right back.
We're back at it.
And it's like it never ended.
Absolutely. You know, I can definitely connect with that because so I'm in a sorority, and part of being in a sorority is being able to navigate different kinds of friendships and relationships, and how you define sisterhood. And you know, there are a lot of like public opinions about Greek life and you know, buying your friends and all of those stupid ass ideas that, you know, okay, whatever, get your shit off, like but ultimately, like, learning how to navigate different groups of people and learning what works for you and what doesn't, and being okay with releasing what's not for you. You know, you work on friendships with strangers and you try to develop friendships with strangers in the hopes, all of you with a common goal of building sisterhood, building friendship, building family. Some of us are born different. Some of us are raised different. And What works for you may not work for me, or my communication style, the way that I show love, may be too much for you, or the way you navigate conflict. I had a friend who was very, very, very direct. Mm-hmm. And to the point where I became offended, because it's like, watch how you talk to me, mm-hmm. you know? So when we consider, it's like one person may take that same concept and be like, yo, thank you. No matter what, you kept it a stack. Thank you so much, Baba. Whereas for me, it's like, have you lost your goddamn mind? That's how you talk to people? You don't have no home training? Like, yeah. I'd rather not have the conversation at this point, because you think you can talk to me however you're feeling like. No. There's a certain like level of common decency and respect mm-hmm. that I'm going to expect from you. If you're going to, I'm going to give it to you.
Understandable.
You know?
Understandable.
So like friendships end up really like, after years, they really get tested. And mm-hmm. it's like, who are you really? Who are you actually?
Yeah. What are those hidden secrets? What are the things in the closet? What are those skeletons in the closet? But you end up, those things end up being revealed. And again, like, I guess it's like kind of the theme of what I'm saying. It's like, it's going to be revealed for good or for bad.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, butterfly effect. But I want to jump into what Joe was saying.
Yes.
Because I think it's a very interesting topic. And I'm trying to gather my mind right now and like what my answer is.
Yeah.
So Joe is saying, like, let's take it back to the age we are right now, and let's mm-hmm. take it back 10 years.
Okay.
And what did we think we were going to be at this age? Or what were our aspirations, and now what is our reality?
Okay. Bet. Would you?
And the time in between. Okay. You want to start?
Sure. So I am 30 years old. So 10 years ago, I was 20 and I was finishing my second to last year of college. I was actually in Indonesia at 20, living my best life. I thought I was going to be a news anchor at like CNBC.
Wow.
I thought I was going to work for like Sirius XM. I thought I was going to be corporate. I thought I was going to be like corporate communications. That's really where I thought my life was going to be. And I thought I was going to I thought I was just going to climb up the corporate ladder and find success and mm-hmm. become an A&R or something. Shout out Desiree from Rock Nation. Like, wow. I thought I was going to be Desiree from Rock Nation. That's who I thought I was going to be. But instead, I am an 8th year educator in Newark. I'm an 8th grade science teacher. Mm-hmm. I'm an event coordinator. I put on like a lot of events for families and for the community. And I'm like building a life for myself, building it as opposed to imagining it.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is
like really awesome. That's the difference, I think, right now. We could jump into it a little bit, but give me yours.
Yeah. So I am 26. 10 years ago, I was 16 years old. I was a sophomore going into junior year of high school. And I don't even know. Like, at that time, I was really heavy into sports at this time, really predominantly basketball. So I was just like playing summer league. I was playing fall league. I was, during the season, waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. actually, to run 2 miles before school. Oof. For the basketball team.
You were
so
dedicated.
That I was like really dedicated, and it really made me who I am today and what I do for myself today. My Coach Gaskin, used to say all the time, just like, I remember his one line. I don't even know if this resonates really, but it was like, always like, my way or the highway, mm-hmm. like mm-hmm. my way or the highway. He would say that to us in the mornings, like 5 a.m. Like, it's either you're going to show up at 5 a.m. and run these 2 miles before school,
or you're out,
or you're not going to be playing. Yeah. Like, and the kids that showed up late or did not, do the 2 miles or just not show up, like, that was an effect to their playing time, or that was, you know, affecting just the relationship between the coach and the player. So yeah, I was super into sports. I had started really like my band at the time, doing music. I had kind of started it in 8th grade. Me and my friend Joey Wamsley, we kind of just started jamming in 8th grade because we had band together. So that was like the only year I did band at the high school, because my high school is 7th and 8th grade, and then also the high school. I had gone there in 8th grade. So I started doing like Music Journey at that time. And I don't know, I saw myself almost being like either going and playing college sports, like that was always a goal of mine, or being an educator, to be honest. Like I remember at this time I was saying to myself, I had a really great history teacher. His name was Mr. Bouchard. Okay. And I would always say to myself, man, I could see myself being a history teacher. Like I really liked history. I thought it was a cool thing to do. I was like, I could be the cool teacher. Like I could be friends with everybody, and like, you know,
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, I know. And and then now my current reality is that I am like self-employed. I basically am a freelance content creator / social media manager, and I also have my band, Toy Machine. Like we are always practicing every single week. We play shows, we travel, we are putting out an album. So that dream is definitely still very, very active. And it's going to come true. That dream is going to come true. I just know that it's just going to be part of the story. When it does happen, it's going to be at the right moment for the right reason to affect the right people.
Yes.
You know, and it's going to be great. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm very happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
But, you know, I could have went 10 billion different ways. Like, man, maybe I would be, you know, a history teacher and be a basketball coach, because that was my passion forever and ever. But I'm happy where I'm at.
You know, it's interesting that we're even talking about this, because I had a conversation with a girlfriend yesterday, and we were talking about our current careers. She's an HR professional, so like she has her own team that she oversees, and you know, sometimes we get like bogged down with work stuff, and so we were venting to each other. I was like, these fucking kids, I can't fucking stand them. You know, I'm just like running my mouth, and she's like, yo, like they have us doing this project that nobody's pulling their weight. And I really had to stop and take a moment to think to myself, like, and I vocalized it. I was like, you know, for years, I've spent so much time and so much energy not liking my job because it's not what I wanted, because it wasn't the plan. My plan, so I did Teach for America, which is this really awesome nonprofit. And what they do is that they place high performing college students into low income communities so that they can teach. They really emphasize diversity and inclusion, and their mission statement really spoke to me. I had spoken to a mentor while I was in school, and I told him my dream at the time. So I'm 20 years old, and I'm like, you know, I'm in the university honors program. I'm working on my communications dissertation. Like, all of these different things are at play. And he's like, so Desiree, what is it that you want to do? And so I'm like, I want to talk to people. I want to inspire them. I want to educate them. I want to show them what there is out there. Like, I want to supply resources. I want to be a voice. I want to be helpful. And he said, oh, so you want to talk on a stage? You want to have people listen to you while you talk on a stage? Sounds pretty selfish. And I was like, oh my God, I know nothing about the real world. I need to go like settle down. I have way too lofty ideas. These are not realistic ideas. I need to go be in a classroom and make a direct impact. So I became a teacher. It was supposed to be a 2-year commitment. It was supposed to be do my 2 years, get out. I'm now in year 8. And years 3, 4, 5, and 6 were especially like tough because those were years of like, what the hell am I doing here? What am I doing here? This is not what I wanted for myself. This was not what I wanted. And like loving my kids is a completely separate. Mm-hmm. It's so separated. It's beautiful.
Totally understood. Yeah.
Like people in education, I'm sure can attest to that, where it's like your affection for the kids, your affinity for the children, your purpose in showing up the way you show up for kids is completely separate from the bureaucracy of being in a system mm-hmm. that purposely oppresses kids of color. And I am teaching in a neighborhood that is predominantly Black. So like the system that was not meant to help anyone who's in front of me succeed and persevere is now my job to manipulate mm-hmm. in favor of the kids in front of me. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really until maybe 2 years ago where working with Joe, actually, I started really cooking a little bit. And like, he really was the driving, he really was the driving force behind like, yo, you got some dope shit going on. Like, you got a lot of fire. Mm-hmm. What are you passionate about? And I'm like, events, impact, community. He's like, dude, run that shit up. Like, he was just like, let's go. And I took it seriously, and I took it to work, and I applied it. And I was like, you know what? I want to be the events coordinator. Yep. And now I get to impact hundreds of families. Now I get to put smiles on kids' faces. I get to give them opportunities and resources that they wouldn't have had I not been the one to fulfill that position. And so I think to myself now, years later, like, you would have been miserable in a corporate office for freaking CBS, CNBC.
Yeah, you would be stuck in that system.
In a cubicle, being told by upper management that my grammar's trash and that I need to go cover another news segment down the street because, of course, I'm not taking the leading role for anything. Like, it just wasn't. Yeah. That wasn't the route.
It wasn't. You would have quickly found out that. Yeah, you're just like.
It would have been so empty.
This isn't my passion.
It's not.
Where it took you a few years. It took, maybe someone like giving you the reality check too, but. That's what needed to happen. Yeah. And like, I can feel your passion in it. Like now I'm like, man, I want to go to one of these events.
Oh, Joe could tell you.
Like, I'm like,
Joe could tell you. I be on go mode. Events are like, and you know what? I'm down for any kind of event. Like, cause I love a good party, a well-thrown party where people are dancing, having a great, whatever.
Same.
You feel me?
Same.
But more importantly, like, everything that moves me is impact. Like, it moves my spirit. Like, so anything that has to do with mental health, with shaping our youth, with shaping their mindsets, where their frame of thinking comes from, what perspectives they're using to analyze things. I'm dealing with 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds. They're gonna bring their relationship drama to me because they trust me with my opinion and my perspective. I didn't have that. Growing up. Yeah. My teachers were like, I'm not ageist or anything, but like, they were like, 65-year-old, I don't want to relate to you. I don't care about your problems. Let me collect my pension and retire now. That's who I had. And not for nothing, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, y'all got some popping ass teachers in front of you. Like, some dope people in front of you. Yeah. Listen to what they're saying to you. Because we didn't have that. So, like, I think about back then, I want to work for, and it was going to come from me all along,
I love it. I really, now I'm like, I love hosting events too. I love throwing events. I love that. So like, I'm like, okay, how can we collab now with Jersey Media?
Yes.
And like, what can we put together?
Yes.
Even for the kids too, like that would be sick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I really do feel the energy behind it and the passion. Like, I'm like, let's go.
I have so much energy. It's really hard to, it has taken me years, and I still, my close friends could tell you, I be losing my mind a little bit.
I had to tell Tyra before. She was like, what sign are you? I was like, I'm an Aries. She goes, you're the most calm Aries I've ever met. I said, you don't know the real me yet. Because I'm like, if
there's
you
nothing calm about me.
Yeah, I'm like, I have learned to have a sense of calmness to me, especially when I'm around different, like, just like when I'm with new people, you know, that I don't reveal every single side of me. Yeah. Because like sometimes that would get me in trouble. Like I would literally just like give all of my information to somebody out of excitement. Yeah. And now next thing you know, like I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Or it comes back to like bite me. And I'm happy that I have learned to have this sense of calmness, because
I don't know how I feel about it.
No, but like I can release the energy when I need to.
I can see it in your eyes.
You know, like I can really, like, I could go
I will unleash the beast, baby.
Yeah, because like then I started learning, like, now when I do unleash the beast, it's very impactful.
Yes, it is.
Because it's very, very
evident.
It's very designated to that thing, and I could put all of my energy into it and know when to store it and when to release it. And I'm like, let's go. And like the thing that I created this year for myself, for me to understand how to do that for myself, was Dile, no Dile.
Oh.
Do it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Yeah. Dile.
And like, it's so funny because when I created that for myself,
Dale, no dile. Dale.
My girlfriend's Cuban, so I listen to Spanish music more than Spanish people. Like I could, and like it's
Bad Bunny
hilarious.
Aficionado.
No, like I listen to like Willie Chirino and like Willie Acere, like all these people, like old, like from like the 70s,
I don't even
80s,
know.
Like like I really love it. Yeah. And like people are always like, "Yo, you think you're Cuban?" I'm like, I am Cuban.
What do you mean?
I'm Cuban by association. So like I always say that, but like the Dale no Dile thing really changed how I was going about things. Like I was telling people everything. I was giving them all the seasoning, the sauce, the spoons to like do it.
I feel that.
I really was having a conversation one day, like with my girlfriend and her sister, and we were listening to music and dancing and all these things. And like, we were just having like a serious conversation while also having like a lot of fun in the morning, like having espressos, like all this stuff. Oh. And I was like, dale, no dile. And for me, when I said it, I was thinking like, dale, no delay. Like, delay.
No delay.
Like, just like do it and like, no delay. Like, just get to it. And then my girlfriend, she was like, it's like, Ryan, that was amazing. And I was like, really?
Off the dome, baby.
I'm like, wait, really? And she's, because like, she knows when to give me my props and when not to give me my props. But this time,
smart woman.
Yeah, she's very educated, very smart. And I was like, I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, do it, don't say it. And I was like, yeah.
That was exactly what I meant.
And I was like, I went into my car, like I left her house. I looked up Dile, like Dile, and that's what it meant. Yeah. Like slang though. Yeah. And I was like, Dile. That's it. Like that is my thing. Like it's like Nike, just do it. It's the same exact thing, but different. And like I don't know. It just like, it brings out this like excitement to my life that I'm like, I love that feeling of knowing I have that power now to not just spew it all out. Like, I couldn't believe I was doing that for years.
I still struggle with that. And that's why I guess I had the reaction I had at first, because it's like, we could chop it up to a whole bunch of different things. At work, some of us who are a little bit more antsy or like all over the place, whether it's joking or not, like some of us actually have ADHD, but some of us also are just like ADHD. I'm the type of person, I'm not a good multitasker, but I'm also not good at doing one thing at a time. I gotta do a little bit of everything. I also eat the same way. Like I will eat throughout my day, but I gotta keep moving. And something that I've actually gotten a lot of, like, not a lot of criticism, enough for me to notice it, is that sometimes my energy bursts can be a lot for people.
Oh, I get that all the time.
And, at work, no shade to my coworkers or whatever, But at work, there are times where they'll be like, Des, you're here. I need you to bring it here. And it's like, well, who are you to put a cap on my sunshine? You're having a bad day at 7:45 in the morning. Well, I'm not. And I deserve to be happy as hell. What? Like, I want to skip down the hallway and hum because these motherfucking kids aren't going to drive me crazy today. And now I'm disturbing your peace.
You're going to set your reality. You're going to set the tone for your reality of the day. And that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to set that tone for yourself because like it's so easy to get caught in the trap.
And then you dim your light. Nah, then you
no more light dimmers.
Hell no.
I literally like I went into my house. No joke. I went into my house. My dad had put the new dimmers, and I said, "Dad, take those off.
We don't dim lights out.
It's either on, it's on or off. It's on or off for me.
We don't do that half-ass dim light shit here.
I'm just kidding. Like that was like the dumbest dad joke that I think I've ever said. Like if my friends hear that, they're gonna be like,
if your dad hears it,
Ryan, like you could do that with us and like be really stupid and say all these really dumb dad jokes, but like you're really gonna start doing it in public. Your dad's
gonna be the one who's like, yo, like you got me out here sounding whack as hell.
No, but there's nothing like a nice ambiance. You have to have like a light switch dimmer, but not a light dimmer in your life because it's just not right. Like don't let them suck the blood out of you.
No, for real. Yo, can we talk about energy vampires real quick?
Go.
As a person who has a lot of energy, how do you decipher who is a candle that will take your light and hold it and burn bright? Or a freaking vampire who wants to suck the life force out of you and not see you be all that you are? What are the telltale signs of an energy vampire?
That's a really great question. Oh my God.
Because I'm sick and tired.
Honestly, I don't even want to I don't want to give them the light of day.
You're right.
But that's one thing I think about me is that I really tried to like brighten the light. Sometimes I'm way too much. I say way too much. I might do too much. I might say the wrong thing, but in the end goal is to bring up the light. Like that is always my end goal. Sometimes I don't take the best route to do that and I mess up, but that is always my end goal with every single person that I come across. Like I just want to be the Joe to you. Like I want to be the person that is like, you are really dope. You know, like but that's a real thing. Like that is so real. And Joe is definitely that guy. He is very, very good at that.
Yes, he is.
And like, that is something that that's always number one on my mind. Like, how can I impact this person that's in front of me in a way that it's positive? Because again, I do mess up and sometimes it doesn't always come across correct, but that is always my goal. Yep. It's always my goal. And it might just be the wrong time. It might be the wrong person. It might be the wrong place, but that's always the end goal. Yeah. It's like, how can I be the bright?
How can I be the light?
How can I be it? Like when you said that about Joe, I said, that's why Joe and I get along so
That's why I'm here. 10 toes down, yo. 10 toes down, Joe. Nah, man, when I tell you there have been times, it doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter if it's 7 a.m. Like, hey, Joe, you free to hop on the car real quick? What's up? Like, hey, I'm thinking through this, and this. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? And it's like, it's never a place of judgment. It's always a contribution. Like, and it's never selfish. And so many people have lost touch with what it is to really spread the message, whatever the message is, you know, like for me, mental health, holding sacred space for important conversations. Those are really the things that drive me, where I'm not scared to have a taboo conversation. I'm not afraid to talk about uncomfortable things. I may visibly be uncomfortable, but I'm not afraid to have the conversation. You know, I may get red. I may stumble over my words. I may start sweating, but I'm gonna have the conversation. And, you know, I was reading on Twitter, just like scrolling, and somebody had said something along the lines of like, it wasn't until I told my therapist that I didn't realize that I was being molested. Or like, it wasn't until I spoke about it that I realized that I was in an abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. And like, there are a lot of times where lines can be so deeply blurred that without the safety of a space where you can be your most honest and authentic self, you'll never really know. You'll never really know. That's why when therapy without a degree, whew, baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. No, it's very impactful. Like just having the space to talk is a very, very impactful thing. Like you just start uncovering it for yourself. You're like, am I really doing that to myself? Mm-hmm. Like, is my worth really what I've been, like, I've had it set at this for this long?
Yeah.
And you just uncover it. And then that's where the change starts happening. Mm-hmm. It just happened for me. Literally. But, you know, therapy has been.
Yes. Welcome.
It's
welcome,
like you're just,
my friend.
You're like looking at yourself like in the corner, like you're talking to your therapist maybe, but you see like, for me, like I like picture sometimes myself like behind him, just like being like
listening.
What the hell are you doing?
Listening to it all.
Yeah.
Listening to it all.
It's crazy. Yeah, like I just like see myself like in the corner, like doing the robot, like I'm like, yo, Ryan, what are you doing over there?
How many years have you been doing it now?
A year.
A year?
A year and 2 months.
A lot of it is criticism of the self. You know, you disassociate and you're like, I'm such a fucking cornball. Look at you, ha 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 ha. And it's like, okay, ego, you need to relax. Mm-hmm. You know, I had all these conversations with friends. I had a conversation with a friend about the ego, and he was like, you need to get rid of the ego. And I was like, no, you need to understand your ego. There's a difference between the two. You try to get rid of your ego. Your ego is a massive part of who you are and what you are. You can't get rid of it. It would be to literally push away a part of your identity. And that's typically what people do, is they try to push away parts of their identity, and then they're miserable and you know, like nothing changes for them. But I think about that often, where it's like, what's the balance? Everything is always such a balance, but like, what is the balance? Yeah. Like, be angry, don't be angry. Be passionate, but not too passionate. Like,
I don't know if, Joe, the last podcast that we did together, I had not gone to Mexico yet, right?
You went to Mexico?
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't think I did, because I think I was telling you the story 2 weeks ago. So for my girlfriend's 30th birthday, we went to Mexico City.
Okay. Ooh.
A group of us, 13 of us.
Oh, that's friends. Lit.
It was
a lot.
Oh my God. Like, no joke. Oh my God. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my whole entire life. Like, we went.
You had a great time.
Check this out.
I can tell.
Check this out. We got there on Thursday. We get there, we go into the city, do a city tour, like a walking tour to understand the city. Like, you have the educators there bring you around. Nice, you get to see everything, 2 hours, get home, relax. The next morning we had to be up at 4:30. We were going on this little boat tour, and they call it the Chinampas.
Okay.
And it's like little islands that you go through on this boat tour. And then you see the sunrise come over a volcano. Oh.
First of all, that's freaking stunning. That's freaking stunning. Like, what? And this is bro, there's so much life. There's so much life.
This is only day 1.
You're like,
basically.
You're like, wow.
So,
wow.
The sunrise, right when we get to the volcano section, it's like however many miles in front of us. That's exactly when the sunrise comes up. So we're there taking pictures, all the friends, there's cows just grazing the field. There's literally cows grazing the field. And then next thing you know, they're like, here, get back on the boat. We're going to go to this other chinampa. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and that's where we're going to be serving you farm to table breakfast. I'm like, what?
I bet you it was delicious.
It was delicious. Sure. It was amazing. They brought us to the garden, all this stuff. So I'm like, oh my God. All right. Day, basically 1.5, day 2. This is the Friday. How could this get any better? My girl's like, oh, we're going to a shaman tonight.
No way.
I'm like, let's go.
Ooh.
So we go to this shaman it's called a Temazcal. And it's basically like an igloo, but built into the ground, but not ice. It's concrete. It's built into the ground. And a shaman is in there, and his family like line is like from 3,000 years ago, the Aztecs, like all this
Seriously?
stuff. So they have like stones in there that they're putting in a fire to like make this into a sauna. Like 100-something degrees in there. Oof. You're with a group of 13 people, and now the shaman's speaking in only Spanish. Whoa. But there's also a translator too. So he's talking, and we went pick these flowers in the garden. They said, go and just whatever gravitates to you. That's what you pick. So I picked these 4 flowers that I was like gravitated towards, and I made it into a bouquet because there was like holes in one of the leaves that I was able to make it into a bouquet. And everybody was like, oh, damn, Ryan made his into a bouquet. Yeah. Like, it was really cool. Yeah. And the shaman out of nowhere, he's like, I'm going to use him as an example. This is all in Spanish. But the one guy's like, this guy's talking in Spanish. This guy's talking in English at the same time. It's like this. So the guy's like, and he chose these flowers because of X, Y, Z. Like, this is what he wants to go into this with. And I'm like, everybody was like, he's right. Like what he said. I don't even remember what he said because I was so in the moment. Yeah. But he was right. I was going in there to release my fear. I have just fear. Yeah. Like there's a lot of fear in me. Same. And I went in there, and it gets really hot in there. Mm-hmm. Like I'm sweating. Mm-hmm. And basically they're like, if anybody wants to speak. So I say, I want to release my fear. This guy literally starts spitting up my fear into like a bucket. Like I'm not even kidding. Like the shaman's like,
no,
like no, I'm not kidding. Like this was very, very real. He's like spitting up my fear and telling me exactly what I need to do. And he's like telling me, you're a jaguar. You need to move in silence. You're a jaguar. And I'm like, wow. He's telling me, Dile, no Dile. Literally.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. He's not saying that, but he's saying, move in silence.
Move.
And act.
You don't got to say nothing.
Just do it. Just do it. He's literally telling me that. And like everybody it's pitch black, but everybody in the Temazcal is like understanding because that's where I'm at in my journey right now is right there and releasing my fear. Oof. Okay, so this is sorry. This is a
day
little
2,
long,
day 3.
Sorry, this is a little long-winded, but this is Friday night, and the next morning we were going on a hot air balloon at 6 a.m.
That's first of all, who planned this trip?
My girlfriend.
I'm gonna need to get her digits because she'll plan the shit out of a trip.
She's the best trip planner.
Oh ever. My God. Okay. Hot air balloon.
So I was nervous for this hot air balloon.
Okay.
The whole entire time leading up to this, like really fearful because I don't know if you remember from the Amanda show, the mom or the dad, I forget, gets like lost, the mom, in a hot air balloon. Like she like floats away. And this is
your irrational fear?
Yes, this is my irrational fear. So the whole time I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. Like I wasn't going to do it. And I just decided, I'm going to do it. Like I paid for it before we went on the trip, everything. But I was so fearful. After that shaman experience, I walked out of there with 0 fear. Like I'm feeling it right now, the goosebumps. I walked into that hot air balloon with 0 fear.
You were so with it.
It was gone. I was like, let's go. Like I was hyped up for this hot air balloon at this point.
That's fire.
They even were testing the wind, and the guy had to come and tell us it was delayed. Like he was like, we can't do it yet. Like we're gonna have to wait. Like that would have gotten
freaked you out. Yeah.
That's like seeing the roller coaster get stuck at the top, and then you're online, like waiting to go next.
I'm okay.
Like, no, I'm gonna walk. Wait. Literally. But no, I was like, all right, like, let's just wait. Like, we're going on this thing. We get up there. Zero fear. I'm like loving it. We crash landed. We crash landed. You still didn't and the best part of it all was that we crash landed.
Yeah.
Like, I was so happy that we crash landed. It was the best experience ever. Like, the guy literally was like, all right, everybody get in your landing positions. This is going to be a tough one. And we're like going, like flying like 25 miles per hour. And he's like, all right, we're about to hit. And we just like flow over. We're all laughing. It's on video. I have it on video.
That's so dope, yo. It's those moments. It's those moments that make the world real. That make all of this worth anything. Yo, when I was in Indonesia, I will never forget. We had a 5-hour hike up a mountain, Mount Batur.
Wow.
Very similar, like with the goal of getting to the peak for the sunrise. Mm-hmm. So this van picks us up at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch dark. They know where they're going. We don't.
That's
and they give us a
they
give us a handheld flashlight and a partner. And they say, up we go with our flashlight. And it was stunning. And something I tell my students often is like, there's so much to the world.
Yes.
Oh my God. And the more you see it, the more you're able to really like expand. Like, life is stunning. Life is stunning. And sometimes I laugh and I think to myself, maybe it's the Caribbean in me, like, my ancestors, they're from an island. So what they kind of like Moana, mm-hmm. where it's like, how far can I go?
Where are you from?
I'm Dominican. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it is. I love being Dominican. Awesome. And so it's like, I think about that idea of like being from an island, being mm-hmm. Caribbean. And, it becomes very real when me and my Caribbean friends be like, yo, we need to go get into some water. We need to be under the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I am a little fishy. Like, get me in a beach. No, like, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
If you go on my Instagram, all you'll see is me diving into water.
You see? You see?
I love it.
I love it. It's just
that
like,
sounds like an insane experience. Going up a mountain with only a flashlight in the pitch black, like, that's what I'm talking about.
It was cool, but it was scary.
I can't wait for this era of myself because like the fear is gone.
Yeah.
And I am like,
you're ready.
I'm so ready.
Was it like an ayahuasca one?
No.
It was just the sauna?
Just heat. Straight up heat.
Interesting.
No, nothing.
I've been curious about those ayahuasca retreats. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie either, but it's crazy. Like, I'm not there yet.
Much. Yeah,
I'm not there yet.
It's a lot.
Maybe eventually I'll be there, but day. Like I feel like I feel 1 billion pounds off of my shoulders for just talking about it out loud to somebody that literally ended up spitting my
who was willing
out.
To take it from you. He took it from you.
He
took it from. Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Nah, it sounds insane. Like when I was telling my band this story, they were like, "What are you talking about?" Like they couldn't even follow because my excitement about it was so all over the place that they're like, "Are you okay?"
No,
I'm like, no, I'm amazing. I'm not just okay. I'm great,
bro.
Like I was singing my ass off that practice when I got back. Like singing my ass off, more passion than I was gonna say had in singing.
Okay, Jaguar.
I was like, I'm a Jaguar.
I'm a Jaguar.
I'm a Jaguar. Like for real though.
Yeah, I've had some pretty like, I think going back to like being a kid and getting older and seeing your life, reflecting your life on your life, or like seeing your life reflect. Mm-hmm. I think that like some of the best memories I've had were pushing past fear. Mm-hmm. Like my senior year of high school, me and my two best friends were getting ready to go our separate ways One of my best friends was leaving to California to go to school. Another one was going to New York to start her medical degree. Like, we were all going to different places in our lives. And we decided we were going to go cliff dive in the middle of nowhere in Jersey.
Where?
I don't remember, and
Was
neither
it
can
West
she.
Milford?
It might have been off of a highway. And then you walk into the forest. It sounds crazy. Yeah, right?
I've been there.
So
if it's the same place, because it is like, I forget what that road is called, but it's a haunted road, like at night. What is it called? Clinton Road in West Milford. And I think that's probably where you went, because that's like a very popular
area
to cliff jump.
I don't know, but basically, like, we had to stop in the middle of the highway. There were guardrails because we're in the middle of the highway. There were rails that we had to climb over. And my friend's like, we're just going to walk straight. We're just going to walk straight and we're going to bump into it. Wow. And we did. I was like, girl, we're going to get killed out here. Like, this is some crazy shit. But okay, let's go. I know. And I love it, though, because I've done it too. Dude, oh my God. And you see like this clearing. All of a sudden, it's trees, and then no more. And then it's this huge clearing. And there's this like waterfall. And then there's a hole. And, you know, like, she gives us some background information. She's like, you know, the water is deep. You have to jump out because you look down and there's rocks. So you got to jump out. The water's a mile deep. So you need to know how to swim. All of these things. And I'm like, do I really want to die today?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like, and so because she had been there before, she jumps first. And I'm like, yo, it's now or never, bro. Like, we're here. Like, this is the moment. Let it all go. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain.
Your skin. No one else.
Yo. And I jumped. And it was so cool. We had to climb back up. Like, it's not like there was like a passageway or whatever. It was gritty. It was dope. We almost died that day though. Wow. Well, not me. Homeboy that didn't know how to swim and decided to put his life in danger definitely jumped in. I'm sure that was an unforgettable one for him. A localer saved him, thank God.
Wow. That's amazing. I feel like we should wrap this up with what is the current fear?
My current fear? My current fear is failure, as defined by myself. Failure in things that I put my all into. So, like, you know, you can't determine when you're going to fail or in what. You could try really, really, really hard at something and fail. And you could not give a shit about something and fail. So I think it's like really dedicating myself, investing myself, putting my all towards something and still failing is something I'm very scared of. How about you?
It's definitely very similar. Like, my fear is that I don't live up to the person that I see, the vision. Even I know that the vision, there's going to be a lot of, it might be very different when I get there, but I know that I will know where it is for me.
Yep.
And it's a difficult way to describe it, because I just, like, I don't want to set expectations too high, but that's what's going to be able to get me there too, is setting the expectation pretty high and knowing that those expectations are my dreams.
Yeah.
So my fear is letting a dream die. I don't want that to happen. And it's not going to happen.
Right.
Because as long as I am dedicated, as long as I am continuing to, like, I guess,
walk your path.
Just like, my thing is build your empire, because one of my friends, he had a brand called Czar, and he's now called Project 77, but he had one of the shirts, It said "Build Your Empire" on the back. I just loved that. I was like, let's go. So I got a tattoo.
Damn, yo, you're a good friend.
Yeah, like I don't know if they can see it on the camera, but him and I got a tattoo together. Aww. Because like I'm able to look at that and like I put it towards myself because like this life it's for me to live. Yes. And however many people that I can impact living my life, that's what I want to do. My fear is that I don't do it for like my fear is not doing it for me, because if I don't do it for me, I'm not going to be able to do it for others. So it's always like build your empire, love yourself, believe in yourself. Like don't be scared of being that person that you set that expectation to.
Because it's in you for a reason.
100%.
Like literally, if nobody else on the planet conjured what I am thinking, it's because it's for me. It's in me. It's in you. Like nobody's gonna be able to do what you came on this planet to do. Mm-hmm. That's fucking powerful.
Let's get it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna get it. We're gonna go
to the moon.
Jersey media to the moon.
You know. But, therapy without a degree, we here.
I want to say thank you to Joe too for having us on this platform. It's a very powerful platform. I'm now creating a new friendship. It's this is really cool. Yeah, like it's definitely like very cool because there's a lot of similarities, and I guess kind of how maybe we even like grew up or had not everything grown up, but like the sports and like the education and wanting to the event planning, like it's very cool. I think that we're going to be able to collab on certain things with
I think we'll be able to expand a lot of expansion, a lot of creation. That's what I
and we're going to make it happen. Shout out to Joe Fucarino.
Go on in the house now. Ooh,
have a good one, guys.
Shout out episode 283.
283.
Therapy without a degree. You feel me?
Let me call my manager, Joe Fucarino.
We love you, Joe.
We love you, Joe. Therapy without a degree out.